Good morning, sixth grade. Welcome to Investigation 4. We're going to hope this works with me talking over your piece of paper here, and we'll try to get the work done. Today we're going to talk about stem and leaf plots and box and whisker plots. I'll just follow along at the top. It says this investigation will show two ways to organize large group of numbers. They gave you an example of the test scores. You see all those numbers there. One way to organize numbers is with a stem and leaf plot. Place the tens place value to the left of the line. That's the stem. Place the ones place value to the right of the line. That's the leaf. So now they just took all those numbers, guys, and they put them all in order. So you can see the little thing on the left over here. This is saying the line separates the 3 and the 2. That represents a score of 32. So this would be 21, 23, 25, 26, 26, 28. So they took all these numbers up top and then put them in order for us. Number 1, it says, looking at this stem and leaf plot, we see that there is one score, number 21, 123, 125, 2 26s, and so on. Which score occurs more than twice? So you're looking for things that occur more than twice. I see right here I have 3 ones, so that would be a 41. That one occurs more than twice. So you see how I saw those 3 ones, but then don't forget your stem that goes with it. Now you got your definitions. The mode is a number that occurs most frequently as a set of numbers. The mode in these is 35 and 41. I'm sorry, I read that mode is 35 and 41. It's this 41. That tells me I got that answer right. Number 2, looking at the plot, we immediately see that the lowest score is 21, the highest score is 58. What is in the difference in these scores? So I got a place to do my math here. 8 minus 1 is 7, 5 minus 2 is 3, so my answer is 37. The range is the difference between the least and the greatest number. So sorry that didn't print very well, guys. You obviously can see it on your own piece of paper, but you're getting your definitions, mode, range, things like that. Number 3, here comes the median. The median is the middle number of a set of numbers that are arranged in order. There are 35's number listed. Half of 35 is 37 and a half. Half of 35 is 17 and a half. Counting up or down 17 numbers, the next number is the median. Then they tell you the next number in the list might not be the next counting number, but it is still the median. The median of an even number of scores is the average of the two. That's really important, guys. We're going to need that in the future. My job is to figure out the median, so I'm counting 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and it's that next one. So the median score is 40. You could have also started from the bottom and worked up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And you can see it's the same exact number. Okay, before I turn the page, guys, just stressing that when it's an odd number, you divide by 2. You get the 17, it's the next one after that. When it's an even number, you'll have 2 in the middle. It'll be the average of those 2 numbers. All right, flipping your piece of paper over. Now we got some more definitions. It says the middle number of the lower half of the numbers is the first quartile. The middle number of the upper half of the numbers is the third quartile. So you have the same list of numbers from the front side up here that you can barely see on my video, but you can see it on your piece of paper as you look at it. Number 4 says, what are the first and third quartiles of these 17 scores? There are 35 scores. There are 17 scores lower than the median score. And then they gave us the answer right there. They said 40, so we did the front side right. On the stem and leaf plot, count forward 8 from the lowest one. So we took 17, we divided it by 2, we got 16 and a half. So now I'm counting up 8. I'll try to tap it out on the screen so you can see that, guys. Do it on your own piece of paper. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers in the first one, 7, 8, and it's the next one. So you can see that, not on the video, but hopefully on your piece of paper, that's a 2, guys. So the lower quartile would be 32. Now I'm going to do the same thing. It says there are 17 scores higher than it, so I start at 58. I divide by 2. I'm counting backwards 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 takes out that one, and I circle that 7, which means the upper quartile is 47. Okay, and then they have this little stem and leaf plot here, guys, for me. I check my answers, and sure enough, I did it right. Lower quartile 32, the median from the other page 40, the upper quartile 47. Another way to display the numbers is in a box and whisker plot. Use the same information from the stem and leaf plot. On the number line, place dots for the upper and lower extremes. What are upper and lower extremes? They are the highest and the lowest numbers. So guys, you got to keep all these definitions straight. Mode, median, upper quartile, lower quartile. Sometimes it's called the first quartile and the third quartile. And then the lower extreme and the upper extreme. It says, place dots for the first and third quartiles, make a box from the lower quartile to the upper quartile, make the whiskers, which are lines from the box, to each extreme. So they just did this on the bottom here, guys. So they put a dot, the lower extreme, where the 21, the first number. They put a dot up here at 58, the biggest number. We already did math to figure out median 40, lower quartile 32, upper quartile 47. And you just create a box around it and draw lines out. You have a term called interquartile range, which is subtracting lower from upper. And you have the overall range, which we're used to, biggest to smallest. Awesome. Done with the first page. Jump into the second page. It starts with a number 5. Okay, it says create a stem and leaf plot for the following set of scores, then draw a vertical segment on the plot showing the median and the first and third quartiles. Now, guys, the nice thing is they already gave me the numbers, so I'm just going to start this here. The first number is 15. We broke apart the 1, so I write a 5. Then I have 26 and a 26 and a 27. Okay, I want you to keep doing this, guys, on your own piece of paper here. I'm not going to keep writing on the screen because it's too small. So I'll just start over with you, writing it on my own piece of paper. So 15, 26, write a 6, write another 6, write a 7, write an 8, write 9, write 9. Next line, 30, you write the 0, 32, you write the 2, then a 3, then a 5, then a 6, then 1 8, 2 8s, 3 8s, 4 8s. Now you're to the 40s, a 0, a 41, a 42, a 43. There's 2 45s, a 46. There's 2 47s and a 48. You got a 50, put the 0, a 52, a 54, a 55, a 57, and a 58. Okay, number 6 says answer those questions. What were the lower quartile, the median, and the upper quartile of this set of scores? Explain how you find the median. Okay, step 1, guys, I got to count how many scores are there total. So you're counting all those up. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 times 2 is 32. Divided by 2 is back to that 16, right? So the 16 numbers, guys, are going to be, if I count 16, I get to this 38. If I count 16, I get to that 40. Remember from the front side, when you have an even number, it's the average. So what's halfway between 38 and 40? It's 39. Okay, so that's my median, guys. Now I got to figure out my lower quartile. I take the first 16 and I cut it in half for 8. So I cross out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So when you get that, guys, you got a 30 from the one direction and a 32 from the other direction, which tells you halfway through those things. I'm just going to draw a line here between those guys. I'm going to erase that because it's getting too much for us, okay? So halfway between there, let's see if I make my line a little thinner. Halfway between here, guys, is my first and third quartile. Okay, so half of 30 and halfway between 30 and 32 would have been 31. We figured out the median down here, that was 39. Halfway between those two numbers was between a 47 and a 47. Well, guys, there's nothing between 47 and 47. Let me get that 9 looking better. So this is 47. So helping you fill in the blanks again with that sloppy writing, the lower quartile is 31, the median is 39, the upper quartile is 47. It said there's an even number, then we're answering this question, guys. How do we find the median? There is an even number of data, so the median is the average of 38 and 40. Okay, What is the mode of this set of numbers? Remember, mode means most. So we had that big long list of 38s, guys. That one had appeared 4 times, so that's the mode. What are the upper extremes and lower extremes? First, boom, 15. Last, boom, 58. What is the range? 58, the biggest, minus the smallest. Subtract, gives me a 3, gives me a 4. The range is 43. The interquartile range is the difference between the upper and lower quartiles. What's the interquartile range? Well, I had a 31, I had a 31 and a 47, guys. So 47 minus 31 is 16. So that's 16. Okay. I'm going to erase some of this, guys, quickly because I got writing everywhere and we got to do this work on the bottom. Okay, now we did all this work for the stem and leaf plot. And now they're going to make us do number 11. I'll make that back a little bigger again. Number 11 says, create a box and whisker plot for this set of scores by using the calculations you have made. Step 1, what's my smallest number? 15. Put a dot. Step 2, what's my biggest number? 58. Put a dot. Step 3, what's my lower quartile? 31. Put a dot. Median, 39. Dot. Upper quartile, 47. Dot. My dots are a tad off. Okay, now what I do, guys, is with these middle 3 lines, dots, I just make lines and then connect them to form a rectangle. That's my box, and then whisker to my extremes. Boom. And I create a box and whisker plot. Okay, that's half fun, guys. What reality is this. In the future, what they're going to say is they're going to give you this set of number up here, and they're going to say, draw a box and whisker plot. And you have to do all this counting, all this math to figure out lower quartile, median, upper quartile. Sometimes they're nice and they give it to you in order. Sometimes they don't give you the numbers in order. So the first thing you have to do is put them all in order. So this is a lot of work. Number 12 is another definition. An outlier is a number in a set of numbers that is distant from the other numbers in the set. In this set of scores, there is an outlier. What is the score? Guys, the outlier is either going to be the first or last score for you. Sometimes it's like you might have 2 15s and the next number is 26. But what you're doing is you're going to look at the first score and say, is it close to the next score? I have a 15, the next one is 26. 15 is nowhere near 26. Go to the other one. I have 58. The next one is a 57. That's real close. So 58 is not an outlier. 15 is an outlier. And so, guys, why we get rid of outliers is outliers can ruin averages. If this was the test scores to say how many number correct did you get, and you got one kid who did really bad and got only 15 correct, that ruins everybody else's score. It brings it all down. The same would be on the other side. If everybody was scoring in the 40s and then you had one kid who scored like an 80, we would chop that 80 out because that 80 would literally pick up everybody's score. And it would warp it a little bit. So we use this stuff all the time, guys. This stuff we use on our map testing when we're looking at data. And lots of times we will get rid of outliers. Whether they're really bad or really good, they need to go because they can warp things off. Not everyone has an outlier, guys. So this one did have an outlier. That first set you did on a couple pages back, this first set they gave you, I wouldn't have said it was an outlier. We had 55, you went up to 58 there. You started with 21, and you went to 23. So this one didn't have an outlier. So they don't all have to have outliers. Keep that in mind. Okay, flip this thing over, guys. We got one more we're going to practice on our own. They gave you data. It says the data shown is the number of students in each classroom in a school that has 2 classrooms for each grade in K through 8th grade. So step 1, I'm going to start writing these things in. So I'll show it in here, and then we're just going to do it on a piece of paper. So I have 15, 17, 19, and then your next row, I'll write it with you as we go through this on your piece of paper. So you're just breaking those things in half, guys. You had 20, 21, 21, 22, 22, 22, 23, 23, 23, 24, 24, 25, 27, 27, and a 30. If you were asking me, is there an outlier for this? I would say no, there's no outlier. You went from 15 to 17, that's close. You went from 27 to 30, that's also close enough for me. So I would say there's no outlier. Okay, you have all the numbers all written in here, guys. We're ready to do the work. The first thing I do is count how many rooms there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times 2 is 18. So we're halfway through, that's 9. So guys, this last number here, 22, and the first number here, 23. I have to find halfway between 22 and 23. Maybe you're just good enough to say that's 22 and a half. Maybe you have to do 22 plus 23 equals 45 divided by 2. That's my median. Now I take 9. I chop it in half. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. So now I start at the beginning. I count 4 of them. 15, 17, 19, 20. It's the next one. It's 21. Start at the opposite end. Start at 30. Count 4. 30, 27, 27, 25. And it's the next one, 24. Okay, now I have the 3 numbers I need, guys, that I have to do math for. Now, to put my points, the lowest number, lower extreme, is 15. Put a dot. The upper extreme, the biggest number, is 30. Put a dot. Then you put dots at the numbers. You put a dot at 21. You put a dot at 22 and a half. You put a dot at 24. Okay, that looks like it's above 25, but you get the idea. Make your little box, make your little whiskers, and voila. You created a box and whisker plot. Okay, guys, that's it for the lesson. They didn't give us very many practices. We're going to continue to get box and whiskers throughout the year. We'll get a few stem and leaf ones, but what they're really asking you guys is your vocabulary terms. What is a lower extreme? What's an upper extreme? What's a lower quartile? What's an upper quartile? Median, mode, outlier. All those things come into play with these things, and we'll continue to work on them as we work our way through those videos. Okay, your extra credit for today is for the first time you had a packet that didn't have a staple in it.